love that song.
I love that song.
I love that song.
Hey, it's Keith Stevens, and welcome to I Love That Song with my special guest, Colton Dixon. Welcome, Colton.
What's up, Keith? How you doing, man?
Doing great. Great
Good.
to have you.
Good to see
today.
you.
Hey, you've got a great year coming up, a lot of exciting things going on with your music, and you have a book coming out, so we're going to talk about that. Up and Up, why don't you share about that song?
It comes from Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." But man, I've just been reminded time and time again that God's got really good plans for me, and he's trying to get them to me. I believe that faith is the prerequisite to a miracle, so it's important for us to act out in faith, to have faith, and to apply everything that we can towards that, and you'll be amazed at what God does in your life, in and through you. But yeah, just don't settle for what you might think is okay or even good, because I think God's best is on its way.
I agree. There's things and times in life where I can figure things out or maybe have a plan or this or that, but maybe I get 80% of it or 70%. But I always say leave room for God.
Yes.
Leave a percentage anyway.
Yes.
You should have the whole thing, but leave a percent for what he's going to do, which is well beyond what we ever anticipated or something that he might do.
I completely agree. He gave us a brain, but he also gave us Holy Spirit. Yeah. So use both.
Yeah.
Do what you can in the natural and leave room for the super. Man, I heard someone say this the other day. I forget who it was. But your faith isn't going to grow in the battle, right? Your faith, that's just the sign that it has grown.
Yes.
Right? Your faith has to grow leading up to the battle, right? So it's making your Jesus time non-negotiable every single day. Hopefully like brushing your teeth is, like make it a point, right, to spend that time. And when the battles do come or when the valleys do come, you're going to know what you need to do.
It's so good. And seeking God's face and hearing his voice. A lot of times we can have a lot of people and it's good speaking into our lives or pastors or messages or whatever. But then there's a time where we just have to get before the Lord. It's good. All right. So you also mentioned that you have another new song that you're performing on the tour.
That's true. Yeah.
Talk about it.
We're super excited. We've got a couple new songs coming y'all's way this year. And one of those songs is a song called In Spite of Me. And might be one of my favorite songs I've written as of late. And super personal, kind of my response to church hurt, which has been a hot topic the last few years. And I didn't want to write another song for church hurt. I feel like that's also been there, done that. But I was sitting at lunch one day in California just before a writing session, and God literally dropped this chorus in my lap. I hope you find the answers. I hope you find peace. I'm praying your perspective isn't based on what you've seen, because I'm just a sinner who's been set free. Yeah, I hope you find Jesus in spite of me. So I'm human. I've made mistakes. The church is filled with humans, right? Biggest bummer to me is that people's view of God or their idea of God is through the lens of a human being, right? We're going to fall short. That's what we do best, unfortunately. But God sent his son on our behalf, and that's what we're resting on. And so it's an apology letter to anyone who's ever been affected by a human being for the sake of Christianity or in the name of church. But all that to say, like, even for my wife and kiddos, even through those mistakes, I hope you come to the same conclusion that I did, which is Jesus is king.
What do you think what do you hope their response is to the song? Like if it pierces them, if they're like, that's me, that's me.
I think there will be people who relate to that, maybe even on both sides.
Yeah.
I think that they'll feel like the victim in the song, but I think that there will also be people who listen to the song going, man, I've made some mistakes too. I've done some things I'm not proud of, but God, I hope that you still shone above that, you know? And that's where I'm at. You're in church long enough, you're going to see something that doesn't line up.
Right. Again,
church is filled with human beings, but not to give the church a pass or a Christian a pass to do whatever, because I think we can be better. But I am excited to see what that song does. I think it carries a lot of healing.
What does the year look like for you otherwise coming up?
The next thing coming is actually a children's book.
And you wrote a children's book?
Yeah, so I had a lot of help. I've never done anything by myself, book-wise. So we pulled in another writer who helped me get thoughts and ideas onto a page and an illustrator.
And what made you decide to do a children's book? Because you could have written a book on anything.
Totally. it was pretty organic. Not that I was ever wanting to do a kid's book, but when you have 4-year-old twins, you read a lot of books, you know, for them specifically. And not that I saw a void in the market. There were just a couple things that, as I'm trying to demonstrate what a godly life looks like to them, I'm like, how do you explain what faith looks like to a 4-year-old? Like, what does that look like? How would you do that? So that kind of started, sparked the fire, if you will. And so it's called Build a Boat. And we follow these little girl twins who are believing for a dog, right? And what I love about this is, for so many people, myself included, growing up, faith was something that you just had. It wasn't necessarily something that you did. It wasn't an action.
Yeah.
But you look in the Bible at like the story of Noah. He had to act out in faith.
Right.
Right.
To take a step.
There were steps being taken before he ever saw the promise. So for these girls, their parents sit them down and they're like, all right, girls, like if you want a dog, like dogs need food and they need water, they need shelter, they need all these things. So maybe we should plan ahead, right? And act out in that faith and that belief that dog's on the way. So it's really cool. It's cute. It's a really cute story. The writer did a really great job helping me get all that on a page, but really excited for that to come.
And did they receive a dog at the end of the story?
You have to find out.
We'll have to find out.
You have to read it and find out.
Is it a black lab? Is it a beagle? Is it a golden retriever? What kind of things do you like to do with your daughters?
I just like to be with them.
Yeah.
Like whatever they're doing, whether they're watching a movie or they're playing dress up
Spending
princesses or they love doing that as well. It's just great to be with them.
That's great. As you look at your life, if you could spend a day with somebody who's gone, who would it be and what would you do with that person? Somebody who's gone, who you miss in your life.
Grandfather's the first person that came to my mind. He and I were inseparable growing up. My dad's dad. And just a great man of God. Served in the Korean War.
Wow.
He was on a naval ship, and so much wisdom, but quiet wisdom. Man, you gotta watch out for those types of people.
How come?
They'll never pipe up first. You have to ask the question.
Yes.
And so anytime I was around him, he was just always observing. He's funny too, so he'll make cracks at you. But I just feel like there was so much more wisdom that I didn't ask the questions, to, that I would love the opportunity to do that. But probably my grandfather.
Let's talk about Through It All and what that song came out of in your own life.
Yeah, a couple friends of mine wrote that song, and that song's history is even crazy before it landed in my lap. I think Amy Grant was supposed to cut it at one time, and for some reason she didn't. I still don't know why. But I heard that song, and there's only one other song I've heard in my career that I've done this, but I just sat there and I just cried, just thinking about all the ups, downs, in-betweens in my life, and knowing that that is so true. God has been there through all of it, through every step of the way. And so it was Ben Glover, my buddy Ben, who wrote that song. And he's like, man, I listened to this song, and we'd done some other things together. He's like, I hear you on it. He's like, no pressure, but if you want it, it's yours. So I was so honored. But we cut that song and was super intentional on getting the raw emotion that comes out of that song, and not doctoring it up too much. It pretty much sticks to just me and a piano, some ambient strings here and there.
Yes.
But, those are my favorite kinds of songs.
Right.
The song speaks for itself, and was really honored to get to put that song on a record.
Out of all your music, what would you say is the one song that you're going to get a response from people or connects with them in a very powerful way?
We saved Build a Boat for last for a reason. And man, I just, kind of like I mentioned with Up and Up, I'm just so grateful that I'm able to tap into what God is already doing in people's lives. And sometimes that means he uses a song that I played a small part in, and Build a Boat was one of those.
And you do them so fun.
I appreciate it.
That's what's great about it.
We like to have a good time.
Yes, you do.
I think Christians should have the best time. So I get real excited whenever I'm singing about
And
something God's
miracles,
done. Yeah, miracles too.
Miracles is great. I was in the store shopping before Christmas. I'm like hearing miracles in the store. And I'm like, this is so great. I go, there's
Awesome.
Colton. There
I
he
love
is.
to hear it.
Yes.
That one's in the set as well. People
Yeah.
love that one.
They have to.
But man, Build a Boat has really been the one. It's fun, it's up, but at the same time, I think it strikes people on such a deep level because we have all been in that spot where things have felt dry. You're
Right.
not seeing the end result. You might even question like, God, like, are you sure you know what you're doing? Of course, we know the answer to that, but it might not seem like it. But it boils down to, again, faith, the faith that Noah had, saying, all right, I'll give you my yes. And in spite of what others may think or call me or whatever, I'm going to do what you asked me to do. So it's cool to see so many people on this tour, thousands of people, like planting their feet, saying, I'll do whatever it takes, because this is what you've promised. So that's something so pure and, I don't know, revitalizing about that, even just to me, even though I'm the one singing it with them. It's awesome.
It is. It's energetic too, which is fun.
Yeah.
It gets everybody singing it,
Yes.
singing with you.
Yes.
It's a great way to go out too, right?
It is.
Show.
It's the best way to end the show.
You go out on top. It's fun with a great song like that.
Thank you.
You know what? We're going to wrap it up, but just tell me, what's one thing that you feel God's teaching you in your life lately, or something, current in your life that you're really learning from the Lord?
The word for this year, 2025, for me, my team, but even me and as I'm trying to be the best dad and husband that I can be, is connection.
Mm-hmm.
For so many years of my life, it's been about performance. And I believe I believe in doing things at a high level. So whether it's the songwriting or even the lighting, like I really like to be a part of all those little things in my business, my career. But I just really felt the Lord say, like, man, that all means nothing if you're not connecting. And I even just thought about like the life of Jesus and what he did best. He loved best, but love is through connection. So I've really tried to be intentional about creating moments, not just in our set, but like I said, even at home, creating moments where we set us up to win, right? Yes. To connect and to talk about the hard things, but celebrate the good things as well. And so that's something I'm learning to do better and better this year.
Great. Thank you, Colton Dixon, today. Man. We appreciate you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.